The one trophy that I have this season is actually from a Sultai midrange deck that was very close to this deck list I'm playing right now. If you want to check that out, check out my YouTube channel. We recorded that league. You could say the same thing about Tasigur though too. No, Tasigur is another Tarmogoyf. Tasigur is another giant creature that beats my opponent to death. Tasigur is not a value card. Tasigur is a card that sometimes draws cards, but I am playing Tasigur in my deck because I want more ways to be aggressive. I'll donate 200 bits for a Fracturing Gust blowout. Here's hoping. Yeah, I agree, extras. I agree with that statement pretty much completely. I think if you're playing Jund, you want Anger of the Gods, but I think in this deck that can't play Anger, I think Languish is a very reasonable inclusion. The last paragraph of Tasigur's text box is flavor text. It basically is, yep. Oh no! Oh no! Howling Mine! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Sounds good, Apprentice. Sounds good. Hey, Thundering Bumpkin with the tier 2 sub. Thanks for subscribing at that higher level. I do appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Am I am I supposed to engineer explosives here? I think I'm supposed to engineer explosives here. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to do this. How great would it be if this is Howling Mine? How great would it? Okay, they're playing taking turns, which is probably similarly bad for us. If taking turns isn't good against the deck we're playing, it's got to be pretty unplayable. I'd have to imagine that this style of mid-range deck is what makes taking turns okay in general. That's a lot of Howling Mines. Man. All right, well. I guess I just pass the turn here now, and then during their end step, I'll crack the engineered explosives, because I don't want to crack this now and then go mine. 90 hours is a lot of work. Well, thank you for the support, and I hope your workload lightens up a little bit here soon. Our poker hand is pretty decent. This is getting remanded. And then next turn we can go second Goyf plus Liliana the Veil. That's a little personal, extras. Is that too much information? I feel like that might be too much information. Thoughtseize. Ding. Did anyone, whose order of fries was that? I think they're up. Ring the bell, chat. All right, what do we got? Another exhaustion and infinite mine effects. All right, well, we're gonna take the exhaustion, and then hopefully we're gonna beat them to death. Honestly, They have so many things to let them draw cards here. I think we're supposed to just like play a bunch of Tarmogoyfs out here and just like, because like the Liliana is not really going to have an impact on this game, right? All right, well now I can try and take a bunch of their cards away, so that's nice. God, that's... All right, well I'm taking Remand for sure, right? And then I guess I'm just going Goyf and hoping they brick on a taking turn spell and 4 draws next turn. If we'd have been on the play this game, we might have been able to get under them, but on the draw here, we're probably just going to be too slow. They're a pretty big statistical favorite to go off next turn. They're getting to see so many cards. No possible play, yield all. God bless. Say if cryptic command. That's what this means. They drew cryptic command. Nope. Nope. Lucky. I like to be 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 lucky. Lucky. Alrighty, chat. Alrighty. Never forget that Magic the Gathering is a skill game, and the better player always wins. Alright. Is this a surgical extraction matchup? Is this a surgical extraction matchup? I definitely want all of the cards I boarded in. I definitely don't want these fatal pushes or this cast down. I think I'm happy with the 75. I guess I could trim Field of Ruin. So I think I'm actually gonna do this because 23 lands is probably plenty, and this card allows us to put cards in our discard pile aggressively to play Tasigur faster. So I think Surgical is worth bringing in here. I don't think Damping Sphere is good because usually they don't play more than 2 to 3 spells the turn they go off. So I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Someone mentioned Scavenging Ooze. I think Scavenging Ooze is just fine as a Grizzly Bear. We just want things to attack our opponent. This hand is really good with the green source. This hand is really good with the green source. I could see Fulminator being okay. Maybe Fulminator is better than Scavenging Ooze. I could see that being the case. Just soak it in, chat. Ask me what it's like sometime. Ask me what it's like sometime, chat. The answer, it's fucking great. That's the answer. The answer, it's fucking great. All right, I'm gonna take their Serum Visions. We can Abrupt Decay their Howling Mine. Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering. Now I understand why you have to stand. Standing is just like better for my personal energy too, because like I'm really bouncy when I play Magic. Bouncy, 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 bouncy. Ooh, all the green sources. The OP is winning. They have a higher health total. I will never forget the first time. I was like really excited the first time I got on an SCG camera match. And like I was rewatching it and I was watching it with my parents. And my mom was like, you know, Jeff, you're losing for a lot of these games. And I was just like, that's not how it works. I understand why you could think that, but that is not how this works. Hey, just the smartest, thinnest wizard on Twitch. Thanks for the bits, Squirks. I think I just want to get Liliana going here ASAP. I really need to try and swear less, not only for my own children, but also for other people's. I'm sorry, be rich. I really feel like Jake doesn't repeat a lot of stuff, but like Declan is a parrot, and like he's gonna come home from school and just like, his kids say the darndest things. Oh, thank you. Forgot to update the stream title. Updated. What do I want to discard here? Is it nuts to bin Maelstrom Pulse here? I think it's Pulse, right? I think it's Pulse. It could be Tracker too. I could see Tracker. Now I'm gonna bin Pulse. I think I've got a lot of ways to interact with their things post board. And they can't dictate, right? They're missing lands to dictate. I laughed when I escorted her out. Like this Liliana is gonna ultimate as a Stone Rain here. Yeah, I really feel like we should get together as parents and be like, look, the swear words that we're using from now on, they've got more syllables in them. They're gonna be tougher to say. I'm gonna bin this Quagmire here. And then I'm gonna play Tarmogoyf out this turn, I think. Yes. All right, this game should mostly be over. I think it's just like, this is why I kind of want to play a deck like this versus Just Kinda Hiri. Like, this matchup's probably unwinnable for Just Kinda Hiri. And like, black-green just gets to like beat up on these weird combo style decks, just like discard spells and efficient threats. At any rate, thank you for everybody who's hanging out here tonight. Hope everyone had a great weekend, having a great Sunday. My name's Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time TCG player and content producer here on Twitch. I stream Magic 30, sometimes 40 hours a week. If you are enjoying my content, I'd appreciate if you consider subscribing on Twitch. Subscriptions start at $4.99 a month, or if you're one of the many people out there that have Amazon Prime, you get Twitch Prime for free and can subscribe with that, just like the Casual Champion there. Thank you, Casual Champion, for putting your Twitch Prime towards my channel for this month. My subscribers, like Casual Champion there, are the reason I'm able to do what I do like this full time. They pay the bills. You can also support my stuff by supporting my sponsors. MTGOtraders.com. We love to buy and sell Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. CoolStuffInc.com. Buy and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. High Speed Run with the brand new Twitch Prime support. And there's a lot of excellent people streaming on Twitch right now. Thanks for putting your Amazon fund money towards my channel this month. I do appreciate that. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. Cardsphere.com will love to help you buy and sell Magic Online cards directly with other players. There's no haggling. They just take a 1% fee right off the top. And finally, this stream is made possible by viewers like Anaronix, Justin, Nivik, and you. At the very least, if you are new and enjoying the stream, make sure you hit the follow button. Following a stream on Twitch doesn't cost you anything, and it lets you know when I go live and with what. I always try and put the names of the decks that I'm streaming on a given day in the stream title, so that way you can kind of get a heads up when I go live what to expect. And if you can't catch something live that sounds sweet, be sure to check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. 100% of my streams get archived there, and I break them up by deck and by matchup, so you can watch just the stuff that you care about. Whew. That sponsor plug is getting long. I think I've actually lined up a new sponsor starting on May 1st. It's going to be my first non-magic, non-computer related sponsor, which is exciting. And I think when I add them in, I'm going to break the ad break up in half and only plug 3 things at a time, because talking through 6 things in one go is a lot of talking. Green Black seems strictly worse than Jund you can't start your comeback stories with. Well, that's true. You definitely can't do that. It is not a food sponsor. It is not a food sponsor, actually. Our curve's gonna be real clean here, so I'm gonna take the Azuri, we'll Collective Brutality, whatever they play on 1, and then we'll Tireless Tracker on 3. Well, it's not even that it's a lot for me to say. I just, like, don't want my channel to be Star City games. I want my channel to be about the Magic that we're playing. I don't want my channel to be about the adverts that we're playing. So I don't want 2-minute advertisements. It is. I agree, Larynx. I am living the charmed life. I actually had Jimmy John's for lunch today. This stream is in no way sponsored or endorsed by Jimmy John's, but Jimmy John's, if you're out there, it certainly could be. 20 Thunder with the 4-month tier 1 resubscription, a third of a year. Welcome back. I appreciate the continued support. Thank you for that. Is it an insurance company that now covers vintage decks? It's not, but that's funny. Did you get this? It's not because of Klutz, actually. This is a matchup where Languish is looking exciting. We also have an Engineered Explosives in our main deck because I like that kind of stuff. Sweet, that's a Tasigur. What sandwich do I get at Jimmy John's? I get their veggie sandwich because I'm a vegetable-tarian. Tips on being a good cam girl. You are the product. Promote yourself. They have no cards left in their hand. I guess I'm just passing here, right? Is it bigger than a bread box? I'm kind of surprised they didn't cycle the Horizon Canopy since they have the Heritage Druid. Looking for spot removal, looking for a few different things here. It's an Abrupt Decay. Okay, let's start with that. I'm playing this now because I want to cut them off of mana as soon as possible. This also lets me go tap land Tasigur this turn, which is nice. See if they drew Collected Company. Looks like they did. They drew Court of Calling, maybe? Oh, you know what? I guess I could have Thoughtseize them first here. Nope, it's Collected Company. Okay, we could definitely lose this game. Depending on how good this company is. Yep. Am I dead? I think we're dead, chat. Fatal Push. That's unfortunate. I can't play the Tasigur either. As far as companies go, that one was definitely towards the top. But remember, chat, Hearthstone is all variants, and Magic has little to no variants. Hearthstone is all variants, and Magic, that's what I've been told, at least. I've been told that Hearthstone is all variants and Magic doesn't have much of any. That's what they keep telling me. Declan loved the zipline. And in fact, Jacob, actually, when we dragged him away from the trains he was playing with, ended up enjoying it too. Don't make me choke on my drink, sir. All right, maybe we get really lucky and they don't draw another spell this turn. If they don't draw another spell, we could be okay here. I disagree. I've been playing a lot of Hearthstone recently, and I think Magic has similar amounts of variance, if not more. I think Magic players understate, or maybe they're just used to, the amount of resource variance that Magic has associated with it, and they're not good at equating how much variance having resources in your deck adds to playing a game like Magic the Gathering. Ding, ding, ding. All right, I'm gonna start by cracking this clue and see what we get, because if I get Fatal Push, I want to push the Tasigur. Because this only regenerates another elf, it can't regenerate itself. We went 4-1 with Jeskai. Yes, in Hearthstone, you build a deck knowing the cards you are putting in. That's a great way to phrase it. All right, I'll smack him for 7 here. But when I play Hearthstone, saying this is a good Hearthstone hand feels good. Alrighty. We're in a pretty strong spot to win this game now, right? We've already dealt with 2 of theirs, or you just need to not get punked out, basically. Swing low, sweet chariot, come along to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, do 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 do. Cast down this arc druid, do 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 do. All right, what's the math here? They're under the triple abyss. They have to block here. They have to block here, and then this is 11, so they have to block here as well. Yeah, so they have to block here, and then they take 7 and go to 4. So it's actually funny. I actually think the variance that Hearthstone has feels less bad than Magic in a lot of ways, because Hearthstone is designed to have fast games. When I lose a match of Magic to an exceptionally bad beat, I just lost a 50-minute match a lot of the time. When I lose Hearthstone to a bad beat, I lost 5 to 10 minutes. And that's a big difference in my mind. And maybe I'm different, maybe I'm in the minority to think about it in that way, but in my experience with the games I've been playing, it feels less bad losing to variance. Tireless Tracker is a very, very good Magic the Gathering card. Very, very good. I might board the extra one in, actually. Yes, and you didn't pay money to play that game. Also true. Huh. What are your options you consider? Right here, you play Cast Down and you play Maelstrom Pulse. So these are all cards I'm not a huge fan of in this matchup. I have 11 cards that I'm not a huge fan of. I think I'm gonna bring in this Kitchen Finks. Which of these do I want to cut? I definitely want the Thoughtseizes out, I think. I think Thragtusk is too slow. I actually think like Liliana editing them is going to be okay some of the time. And Inquisition doesn't cost us health. What do we think of this? Is this fine? Just leave one Liliana in and leave the Inquisitions in because they don't cost us health. I think I like this. Before anyone asks, I think Damping Sphere is too slow. No, I don't think hitting exactly Collecting Company is worth bringing in Thoughtseize. Yeah, they do have a very small amount of cards that are critical mass. No, I definitely would rather have Inquisition than Thoughtseize in this matchup. That's definitely something. What an excellent Hearthstone hand. Collective Brutality on 2, Kitchen Finks on 3, Languish on 4. Can't lose. I don't think that's true. I think Damping Sphere is too slow to meaningfully interact with a lot of their combo draws, so it's not worth having in my deck. Whereas Liliana the Veil can help me 1-for-1 them out of the game. Urkadar, my monthly emergence from lurking. Thank you for the 9-month resubscription. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Yeah, this hand's very reasonable. Like hoping to hit our green sources with this hand is more than fine. You think Cast Down is good enough for Jund? I do not. I think if your deck can play Terminate, you should just put Terminate in your deck. You don't. I think playing Cast Down when you can play Terminate is silly. Just gonna pass here. I'm assuming they're gonna Arc Druid or Azuri on 3 here. Yeah, Languish won't kill our Tasigurs. It generally won't kill our Tarmogoyfs. It sometimes won't kill our Tireless Trackers. Rory the Rogue with the 5-month resub. Thanks a lot and welcome back. Thanks for helping me do what I do here every single day. Speaking of every single day, as we move into the summer, I think we're going to be rearranging my schedule a little bit. We're going to be putting the kids in daycare some amount of time during the week because all of y'all have supported the content, so we can afford to do that, my wife and I. So I appreciate that. Well, now I'm going to play Scavenging Ooze and play Blooming Marsh, right? Languish is also better against Bogles. You're not wrong. You are not incorrect in that assessment. Yeah, missing Gurmag Angler sucks a little bit, but I think like Primeval Titan and Wormcoil Engine, those aren't decks that I'm bringing in. I'd bring in Damnation against anyways. That's really bad for us. This gives their Elves Forest Walk, chat, so we are about to get beat down. In combination with other cards, the -4/-4 will often be able to kill Bogles. So what's it been like to go from SCG tournament grinder to full-time streamer and content producer over the last year? Well, I actually make money playing Magic now since I do make content instead of playing in tournaments. Playing in Magic tournaments is a great way to play a lot of Magic. It's a terrible way to try and make money. Oh my god. Believe it or not, that was not the sequencing I was going for. Believe it or not, that was not the sequencing I was aiming to have happen. Spoilers. Mistakes were made, chat. That was a misclick. That was a misclick. They're a little bit different than punts. Punts are I didn't realize the right play and I did the wrong thing. You can't Field of Ruin yourself, chat. Reading the card explains the card. My opponent has elected to let me kill their Elvish champion, God bless. Which also lets me gain 2 health off my Scavenging Ooze. Languish would be a very good draw. All right, we're gonna do it in the right order this time, chat. Yay, I did it. I did it. I did it. I did it. Hooray. Just packed for Languish, right? I agree. Trading their champion for my Tireless Tracker seems pretty loose there. Unless they have another champion. If they have another champion, like, you know, I'm dead. Orc Druid, sure. Looks like you got a clue, right? Wow, they are super aggro. So I'm gonna go block, eat, trade. And then I'm gonna get a bunch more food for my Scavenging Ooze here. I say these attacks seem really bad. So I go to 2, but now there's 3 pieces of food in the bin. Yeah, I think the opponent underestimated how much health my Scavenging Ooze is going to be gaining. So I could crack this clue. I think I want to crack this clue, right? I get to go to 4. Yeah, I'm going to crack the clue because I could hit Languish. Okay, we missed, but we're still okay, right? Because I've got 2 blockers and can eat 2 creatures. Scavenging Ooze is very good. I think Scavenging Ooze is just a great magic card in general. Yeah, I'm not sure the second attack was bad, but trading their Elvish champion was definitely a mistake. Trading off their Elvish champion was a pretty huge mistake, I think. Oh, that's possible, Rogue. Maybe they thought the champion had Forest Walk, gave itself Forest Walk. I could definitely see that being a mistake that could happen. Welp. Languish. 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 All right. It's a piece of spell removal. Take it. Fielding takes potential oath. I don't know what you're saying. They literally had Elvish Archdruid, chat. They literally had 4 mana. Shh, shh, go to sleep. Come back in a little bit. Could they have attacked and won? Maybe. I didn't actually count. Yeah, I'm just gonna let these happen so I can leave my creature lands up. We could really use a Languish. You are not wrong. Or make our Goyf a little baby. Our deck does have a lot of lands in it, to be fair. And also remember my misclick on turn 4. I'm down a clue, so I should be up a card here if I'd have been playing properly. We get to activate both of our creature lands on defense here, which is nice. Are we still dead, though? I think we're still dead, right? I don't know. Make them attack me. I could have a removal spell, chat. Remember, like, you're watching and know that my last card is a blank, but, like, if I fire up these creature lands and, like, kill their Archdruid, they lose the game on the spot, right? Yep. So I can only block 4 things and then we die. Last card's a land. So I'm gonna make them turn their card sideways. And look at that! If I'd have drawn one more card this game, the Engineered Explosives would have put us not dead on board, and we likely would have won. Where's my begin sideboarding button? Moto? Alright, there it is. I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded here. Yeah, I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded here. I'm gonna click submit. We're using almost 2 gigs of RAM here, so we'll do a Moto reboot here after this match. And so close. This hand's great. Tarmogoyf into removal spells is very good. They took all that money they're making from Magic Online and they're making Magic Arena, chat. I'm gonna bottom that. We did not. We beat taking turns in the first match. They bricked on 4 draws at a turn spell in game 1 and we just ran them over in game 2. Just discard spells into pressure. I think I'm just gonna stick this Tarmogoyf here on 2. Save my removal spells for their bigger threats. We 4-1 with Jeskai Nahiri. We died to Dredge, which is to be expected. Dredge is a pretty rancid matchup for Jeskai. We have big dudes. Yep. I would like to test Languish because we have big dudes, and I would prefer my dudes don't die to my removal spell. They are playing Devoted Druid. Makes sense. I don't think all of my cards in my hand are pretty good right now, so I don't think I want to risk discarding one of them at the small chance of taking a Collected Company here. Like, obviously, if I knew they had a Collected Company, I would escalate Brutality, but I don't think the risk to reward is worthwhile to escalate here when all 3 of my remaining cards are good. I don't actually know here, Tick. I haven't done a lot of math stuff since I left school. I use my math degree to play children's card games these days. I think I'm just gonna play if they have it to kill me. I don't think I can burn my Abrupt Decay on this Devoted Druid. If they have like an Azuri or an Archdruid here. Yep. So dead to Court of Calling, dead to Azuri. Yep. Sometimes they have it. And again, like, I feel like I'm not supposed to hold up. I'm not supposed to hold that up there. I think it's right to just make them have it. If they have the other 2 cards in their hand, it's whatever. And the fact that I misclicked and was down a clue in that second game, like, I feel like a lot of people that play Magic tend to focus on only their 3rd game in a match when they lose a match, as opposed to looking at the match as a whole. And like, while I don't think there was a lot I could have done to do differently in that 3rd game, the 2nd game, the fact that I put myself down a clue with the misclick on the Tireless Tracker, I think almost certainly cost me that game. So I think ultimately that match was due to a mistake on my part, that loss that I had there. Regardless of how many Vizier they run, I think making them have it there is fine. Oh, I'm gonna restart Magic Online, right? Here, enjoy the sellout page. I'm not gonna do a full plug here. I'm just gonna restart Moto really quick. Give it the old re-kick here. Do 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 beep 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 do 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 do. Did I tweet that we were playing Green Black Rock, by the way? I don't remember if I did. I didn't. Gosh, I forgot to update the other thing too. Just out of it tonight, chat. That's a good question. I feel like we might be able to shove a fourth in, but after that, it's definitely too crowded. So we're 1-1. At a loss there that was definitely within my grasp. I played a little bit better. Would like to play first. This hand's like not amazing, but I think it's fine. One of our lands is a creature land. We have extra lands. We could bend to the Liliana here to turn them into like actual cards. Like Liliana lets us turn lands into cards of our opponents. That's true too. You could always start a second banner. For $200 a month, I'll put most things on a banner. God, Firefox on Windows just hates Twitter. Really doesn't work that well. Brutality is a great draw here. I'm excited to play this matchup. This is definitely a matchup I want to see how it plays out with this deck. What have you learned from your math degree that has helped you with your Magic game? I don't know. It's an interesting question. Thalia. Addition and subtraction. No, actually just use a non-creature, non-land. Well, I'm just going to Fatal Push here, and then they can take my Liliana, and then hopefully we draw some spells here. If we draw a brick, we just fire up the Quagmire and start beating in. Critical thinking is actually the answer. That's always the answer too when like Tireless Tracker. Ayo, that's exactly what the doctor ordered. You could say we've now gotten a clue. Lots of bits, Lukatog. Thank you very much for the bits. I appreciate that. Oh, I should push. Right, it is in Tide Hollow Sculler. You're right, it is in Tide Hollow Sculler. I could push it with the trigger on the stack and be fine. Yeah, you're super right. Thank you for pointing that out. Thank you for pointing that out. Why do we need to nerf humans? I think Humans is a great deck to have be the best deck in Modern. Humans is a deck that encourages people to play good, honest interaction in their deck. Greeny Tea with the 2-month resubscription. It's Fair Deck Sunday. It is basically Fair Deck Sunday. This is the stuff Karn's dreams are made of. The decks we are playing today is what Karn dreams about at night. Well, that was just a series of excellent draws. Let me tell you about this. The reason why this Tireless Tracker card is great is because when you're drawing lots of cards, more of them tend to be good. Sorry, back to Humans. Humans is a deck that encourages people to be interactive. The types of cards that are good against Humans are just good, clean, interactive Magic cards in general. I'm going to decay this other freebooter here because this way this one can't attack this turn. Honestly, the 4th tracker should probably just be in my main deck. There's the fact that my 4th tracker is in my sideboard is probably a deck building mistake. I have another Mantis Rider. Gross. All right, gonna need a couple more good draws here, chat. Thankfully, we get a lot of draws to have good ones. Another tracker. Does this change the clock? It might. The thinning doesn't really matter for now. I'll slam the Goyf and attack with this. The problem is they have these chump blockers here too. Although I guess if they chump block down too much, I can Liliana Edict the Mantis Rider away. Jund just doesn't have room for Tracker in addition to Bloodbraid Elf being top end. You can only play so many cards that cost 3+ mana in Modern. There is a limit. If your deck has too many expensive spells, you're going to die. Really need to dodge like Reflector Mage here. That's interesting. I think that's gotta be wrong, right? They probably were just supposed to make another Mantis Rider there. I feel like this is too cute, and they probably should have just 6'd me instead of 4'ing me. That's really unfortunate. I'm not dead in the air because of the line they took, so I think I'm just gonna play this and then play this. I'm not gonna beat a Reflector Mage anyways, so I think I'm just gonna smash with both of these. I don't think this deck needs more grindy value cards. I think Tireless Tracker is a better grindy value card than Last Hope, whereas Liliana the Veil is the type of card that can help us steal games against decks like Tron and Scapeshift by eventually pressuring them. We are in fact playing green-black lands, yep. Our deck does have kind of a high land count, to be fair. We're playing 25 lands in our deck. So this gives them 2 draws here. That's pretty scary. Maybe I should have left the Tarmogoyf back. Please be cracking the clue. God bless. I've not looked at the open results yet. So they've already played a land. So Phantasmal Image is their only card that kills us here. This turn at least. So I get to go ahead and block here. These will trade. All right, so is there a difference between 1 and 2? I guess I could Edict them, Liliana Edict them. I think I'm gonna fetch a Swamp here. Because I can crack a clue and still double Liliana, right? And then this attack will put them to 1 as well, so keep this one. And then they need to rip a Mantis Rider off the top here. Yeah, I guess they could go human plus Malcontents to kill us from 2 instead of 3. Okay. They're still dead to Hissing Quagmire here. I mean, if they have a Mantis Rider, they have a Mantis Rider. I can't play around that. Okay, that means they're not dead on board. Scavenging Ooze should mean they're locked out of the game, though. Oh, I could have double quagged, huh? Yeah, definitely could have double quagged. It's fine. I was excited by this. Justin Mack, thank you very much for the 25-month resubscription. I do appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I appreciate the continued support. Thank you. I miss lethal, chat. I'm aware that I miss lethal at this point. That being said, the Scavenging Ooze should cut them off of any draws they have to come back here. Yep. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this tracker should just be in my deck. So these Thoughtseizes are definitely coming out. Yeah, the Thragtusk is probably too slow. Actually, Tasigur's pretty bad against Reflector Mage, right? How do I feel about this? What do you think about this 70, this 60? I don't think Golgari Charm's good enough here. I don't think Golgari Charm's good enough here. I've been staying in for a couple hours too, so I'm gonna go ahead and sit down. Enjoy the ride, chat. Oh. Yeah, Thragtusk is decent against Reflector Mage. I'm testing Languish over Damnation because Languish generally won't kill our Tarmogoyfs. I think Liliana is useful for the same reason that you just saw that last game. Liliana just being 1-for-1 spot removal is fine, I think. That scene seems pretty good. I don't have any of my one-man interaction, but like, kill your thing into Liliana, kill your thing, it's probably okay. If they have a really fast start, we could be in a little bit of trouble. That does not spell a fast start. And actually, that's great. I'm gonna lead on the, actually, you know what? Maybe I'm supposed to lead on Blooming Marsh there, since I have 2 of them. If they play Thalia though, it doesn't really matter. You type exclamation point donation Q in chat, you'll get to. That is certainly a magic card. That is Certainly a legal Magic the Gathering card. All right, so I'm going to pass the turn now. So this way I can cast down or Fatal Push whatever they play here, and then untap and Liliana Edict the champion. So hopefully they can only play one threat this turn. If they can play 2 threats out, this champion might be annoying. I don't want to... You don't bring in Stone Rain against the aggro deck, Larynx. Stone Rain against an aggressive deck is very bad. And like I said, Liliana, not amazing in this matchup, but just 3 mana kill a thing, that's reasonable. And if she gains me some health afterwards, even more reasonable. We need to play Scooz plus Goyf next turn. And like, if she just eats this Mantis Rider here, like that's great for us. This is a good turn. This is a good Liliana. Like, kill your thing, gain 3, send me up. Like, I'm happy with that result. I'm happy to have Liliana in my deck as a card that has that text. And play Scavenging Ooze, then we'll cast down this. I'm actually gonna play the cast down now because some of these human decks board into Restoration Angel, and I don't want to get blown out by that. You have 3 creatures in the discard pile. Okay, so they get to eat 1 creature here, and then I get to eat the other 2. Hey, Overkill XLR. Thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. I do appreciate that. So Reflector Mage, that's gross. As always, subscriptions are the best way you can support my content here, so thank you for that next level of support. I do appreciate that. I think I'm going to use this as a drain here. I'm going to go ahead and give 2/2 and drain them. Turn this Field of Ruin into a little Lightning Helix. I think Restoration Angel is good enough in humans. I think I don't have enough experience with humans to give you a reasonable answer to that question. I would defer to people who are smarter than me and have played more humans. Retrop Tam 1206. Thank you for the Twitch Prime support. There's a lot of excellent people streaming on Twitch right now. Thanks for putting that towards my channel this month. I do appreciate it. It's another mage. Yep. Do I want to crack this for Overgrown Tomb? Nah, probably not. Eating 2 creatures a turn should be plenty. They're out of cards here. They have this one they can cash in on board, but I feel like we're in a pretty good spot here. Another Tarmogoyf, send me up. You had me worried. You're my favorite Magic player. Yeah, I just started playing Hearthstone because I've been playing it on my tablet at the gym. This is still a full-time Magic stream, and I have no intentions of making it not be a full-time Magic stream at any point in the future. I think there is... Ooh, Meddling Mage is really annoying since we drew a second Tarmogoyf. I think there's probably a good chance that I add Hearthstone as a second game that I'm going to be streaming just to diversify a small touch, because I've been enjoying the game and kind of want to stream a second game in addition to Magic, but I don't have any intention of doing less than 30 hours of Magic a week. Plot twist, Jeff's new sponsor is Blizzard. Woo! Is this a concession, Languish chat? What do we think? What do we think? This is why we're not playing Damnation, by the way. Say hello to my little friend. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Thank you, Tarmogoyf, for the bits. Why are we playing this Languish card? That's really annoying. I'm glad I have... Stop killing him! He's dead! Why are you a monster? Stop hitting him! Stop it! That's the tipping point. Not the Languish that left me the Scavenging Ooze. You killed my Mirian Crusader. That's the line that put my opponent over the edge. Got it. All right, sweet. Ugh. God bless us, everyone. I have no intention of playing Hex in the near future again. Was it good for you, opponent? So I think after playing these games, this Engineered Explosives is good, but I think I'm just going to swap these. I'm going to put the second EE in the board and put the fourth tracker in the main. It just makes the numbers much cleaner. I think we don't really have a lot of information about Artifact. I'm interested in the idea of playing Artifact, but we don't really know anything about it. I'm going to be following Artifact closely when we do eventually get information about it. My slow stop into playing Hex was a combination of a bad standard format on their part, and then some bad management decisions on their part, and then Magic streaming picking up and really taking off. Man, this hand is great against... This hand is really good against Burn. And like, people keep asking why play green-black over Jund. The fact that we get to take so much less damage from our mana base in this deck compared to Jund is a big deal in matchups like this. Well, this is an easy Searing Blaze, right? No, it's an easy Skull Crack. Because I can take the Searing Blaze with the Collective Brutality next turn. I mean, Hex was very good for a very long time. I enjoyed it a lot. I spent a lot of time playing it. But believe it or not, as a human, things change. As a game, games that evolve, they change eventually, right? Like, it's just like Magic, right? Like, Magic ebbs and flows. It has times where Standard is great and times where Standard is not. What does Grimflayer do? Grimflayer is a 2-2. I'm not a big fan of playing a 2-2. Well, now I'm really glad. Now I'm really glad that I took their Skullcrack. So I'm just we're gonna full on get you here. I'm definitely binning this Engineered Explosives, and I think I'm binning the Abrupt Decay here. Yeah, exactly. Right. I think we're taking their Searing Blades here just because that can kill our Tireless Tracker. That's going to be our way to try and win this game. Although next turn, depending on what we draw, we're probably going to go fetch Swamp, play Liliana the Veil. Well, so the important thing to remember, Earthbound, is that power level is format contextual. Just like Jace sees a lot of play in Legacy, but it's not very good in Modern. I still want to know what Knife Cat's been up to. I think when Skyrim Together releases, I'm going to stream some of that with my wife and I playing together. Hey, Grellwing47, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. I do appreciate that. As always, subscriptions are the best way you can support what I do here, so thank you for helping support my content. So I'm going to go ahead and play Liliana here, and this will encourage my opponent to clear all of the removal out of their hand before I put my Tireless Tracker down. Sorry for letting it lapse. You're fine. You're fine. You actually have the 3-month subscriber icon there, so you couldn't have lapsed too much. At any rate, thanks for sending the support again. The bit cup was looking a little full. Thanks for the bits, Nicholas Bolas. Thanks for being excellent background noise while I study. Thanks for the support. I appreciate it. Hey, Kato OSU, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime. I do appreciate that. As always, that's the best way you can support what I do here, so thank you, thank you, thank you. I really don't want to buy a Switch just for Skyrim, though. So someone asked what's Skyrim Together. Skyrim Together is the modding community is making Skyrim a multiplayer game. You can support them on Patreon to help their work go faster. I support them on Patreon. And we're at 10, and we have a Scavenging Ooze, and this is game 1, chat. This deck probably has a... This is game 1, and we were on the draw. I'm gonna put a stop on my opponent's upkeep here. Hi, wife. I love you. The children are sleeping.
Yeah.
Don't block out my ugly face. It's part of the reason the chat's here.
Are you having fun?
I am. Having a good stream. Burn players aren't real people. That's the only reason I'm here.
For your ugly face?
Yeah.
Sad.
Someone said they're just here for you.
Oh.
That's a better reason than my ugly face. All right, Cast Stone's an okay draw. Bonus points to anyone that can read lips there.
What did you say?
I said bonus points to anyone that can read lips. We could die here. They could end step 6 us, untap 3 us, but I think I'm supposed to attack with both of these here and just put them on a 2-turn clock. I don't have any creatures in any of the graveyards to eat, chat. When is the next craft stream? At some point soon, we're going to do another craft stream. Really? That's really frustrating. I mean, we almost beat Burn in a game where they only drew 2 lands in 7 turns. So, I guess we've got that going for us. Yep. Burn is the best deck in Modern when you never draw a 3rd land. If you can never draw a 3rd land, Burn is the best deck in the format, and it's not particularly close. They end step, hit us for 3, and then untapped and played 2 1 mana 3 damage spells. Just like I said. I said we could die there, and then we did. That's just how it goes. I don't think I made any mistakes that game. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I think I'm going to lead on Verdant Catacombs. Fetch a Swamp Inquisition here. And then I can Fatal Push a 1-drop on 2, plus play a tapped land. You could maybe make an argument for going tapped land into this cast down. They boarded in Rest in Peace. Well, that's the one I have to take. Now, I'm really glad I Inquisitioned on 1. Rest in Peace would be real brutal for us. With Rest in Peace in their deck, I might board this Golgari Charm in, just because it kills Eidolon as well for game 3. He drew a 1-drop. Fair. Just gonna Fatal Push this. I don't think we're gonna get to Mardu tonight. We'll start with Mardu tomorrow afternoon, I think. I don't think I have another 2-hour league in me after this one. We're gonna miss a land drop here. That feels really bad. There's a reason why we are playing 25 lands in our deck. Our deck is pretty mana hungry. We do have a relatively quick clock here at least, though. This actually is my list, Big Mom Emmercool. I used, this is one of the decks I'm considering playing at the Open. Skullcracking me aggressively is interesting, especially when they've seen, like, brutalities and stuff out of me. Maybe they drew another one. Land. Well, as far as non-lands go, Brutality is a pretty good. So, do I want to just bin this Planeswalker to make my Goyf bigger? I think I do, actually. Just, like, get my 6/7 going. You drew fucking Path to Exile? Oh, God bless. I was about to tilt out of my chair if they drew Path to Exile. Ensnaring Bridge. Woof. Alright, well, we're definitely gonna board the Maelstrom Pulse back in. If we have a third game. Hopefully they don't draw a third land this game either. That would be ideal. For fuck's sake. Them's the beats sometimes, chat. Remember, less variance than Hearthstone, right? Never forget that your draw step is the highest variance element of any game you are ever playing. Every TCG, the highest variance part is your draw step, and it happens every single turn. This is their second Rest in Peace 2. We Inquisitioned to Rest in Peace on turn 1. Maybe I should have just Collective Brutality there. Yeah, I think not Brutalitying there was wrong. I think I fucked up by not burning by playing the Scavenging Ooze. Gonna do this while I can't get Skull Cracked. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to Brutality discard Tasigur. I think my sequencing was bad there. God bless. Fetch land. Okay. That's a Grey Ogre. Go ahead. I'm gonna cast this Inquisition just because I want to get my Tasigur into play sooner. Deal. Sweet. All right. Well, after some good rips here, it looks like we're actually going to end up ahead. I get to hit them for 2 with this Fulminator Mage next turn and then play Tasigur. So hopefully I don't get punished for my missed sequence earlier. I'm going to throw this in my bin just to cast my Tasigur this turn. They do have more... there's probably Path to Exiles in their deck, too. They seem to have really overboarded. And we know their last card is Inspiring Vantage here. I am not going to play this Abrupt Decay, because I really don't want to lose to a second Ensnaring Bridge. They probably boarded in more than one. Our opponent's about to learn a very valuable Magic the Gathering lesson. Fortunately for them, they're already dead. Alright, so I'm going to board in Golgari Charm and Maelstrom Pulse. Actually, is Engineered Explosives worth bringing in? I guess Explosives doesn't kill... Explosives doesn't kill, it doesn't kill... Bridge. Do I board this in? Is this... Who wants to board this in? They have Rest in Peace in their deck, chat. They have multiple copies of Rest in Peace. And they likely have Eidolon. Fracturing Gust can destroy the clues that Tracker makes and gain us extra health. That's almost certainly bad. Almost certainly bad. That's bad. All right, let's run it. So this hand lacks pressure, but I think the fact that they like have all these permanent base pieces of disruption in their deck makes the Inquisitions very good here. Tarmogoyf, thank you for the 100 bits. File for comp, that bolt didn't work, right? Fast Tasigur potentially. Sweet. All right, their hand is kind of medium here. I'm going to go Quagmire, Inquisition next turn, and then fetch land Tasigur on 3. They're going to get 3 hits in from this, though, which kind of sucks. That's a Collective Brutality. That's a Collective Brutality. Okay. That was on the list of draws. That was towards the top. See if they drew Skullcrack for the turn. Hopefully this is just a Boros Charm. Yep. The short answer, Nivik, is that damage doesn't kill creatures, state-based actions kill creatures. That's the technical reason for what just happened there. Damage doesn't kill creatures, state-based actions kill creatures. And sweet, next turn we'll get to Inquisition their Searing Blaze and then slam Tasigur. So if they don't rip a bridge, we should be in an amazing spot. Actually, this deck can activate Tasigur, so I want to leave Collective Brutality as my only spell in my bin so we can redraw it potentially. All right, I'm at 10 and have a 4/5. Let's go. Aye. Oh. Let's go. Aye. Oh. How do I submit a donation deck? Would you play Hollowed One, Vengevine, Bridge from Below deck? I think I actually already have that in the queue, Han. Type ! donation queue and you can check for the lists in there. And you can actually donate to move up an existing list. Or if you'd like to add a list that's not in there, type ! donation deck in chat. And then you can find the instructions there. Opponent complaining about their draw this game. I'm like, well, you kind of drew the nuts in game 1, so don't zero sympathy. Dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee. Beep beep beep. I also agree that targeting our Liliana there is pretty bad. They should probably just be trying to kill us. So I chose Tasigur over Gurmag Angler, not because I can activate Tasigur's ability, which we can. The more important part about Tasigur is that it's easier to get into play. It's less cards to delve away. Our deck doesn't have 1-mana cantrips or Thought Scour, so we can kind of have limited ways to get delve fodder in our graveyard. So it's much easier to cast Tasigur by turn 3 in this deck than it is to cast Gurmag Angler. So Tasigur just taxes our resources less while also being a potential source of card advantage occasionally. This hand's pretty good. You do a basic swamp, discard spell, tapped land, second discard spell. Yeah, so being able to leave more cards in our graveyard on occasion is also good for us. This is going to be my last match of the night. Thanks everyone for hanging out. We've been going for almost 4 hours now. Remember, if you're enjoying the content, be sure to check out my YouTube channel. If you didn't catch the Just Kinda Hairy League earlier, I'm going to hit publish on that as soon as this league finishes. And then this league will be fully uploaded and processed probably about 45 minutes after the last match is done. I'm going to start with Mardu Midrange tomorrow afternoon since we didn't have time to get to it tonight. I'm going to take the Fork Bolt for now. I play Mono Red Sly. Maybe, if you're talking about a modern deck like 8-Whack, I definitely would play 8-Whack. I think 8-Whack is sweet. Could be Breach Moon. Could be a Jeskai deck, too, that just fetch to conserve health on turn 1. Nope. There, Blood Moon deck. Get that one out of there, please. Small missequence on the opponent's part. They should definitely fetch before they start opting, so that way... Delver. Okay. You've piqued my interest, opponent. Explosives. That's pretty good. Am I going to get Mana Leaked here? They have Steam Vents, click, and then one card I don't know. Yep. No Magic Online. I would not like to pay for the Mana Leak that I have no mana. I'll slide this out on 1. Remember the flipped card rules change, so Delver still has converted mana cost 1 on the backside. Opponent flipped to a Spell Pierce. It's good to know about. If they click me during my draw, I'm going to decay it in response to the trigger. That shock doesn't surprise me. I assume this click's gonna happen. And then I'd assume they're gonna leave us all the cards in my hand, but maybe they'll take the tracker. I would really like for them to take one of the cards so I could potentially draw a 4th land to kill the Insectile Aberration this turn. Spell Pierce that one. Get out of here. Hey! Shannon, Grishelbrand need the apes. Thank you for the $30 donation. I do appreciate that. I will get Grishelbrand back in the queue. Just gonna do this now so that way no funny business happens. We know their last card is Spell Pierce, so we're sitting in a pretty good spot here. Especially getting another basic land to not get locked up by Blood Moon anymore. Speaking of not getting locked up by Blood Moon, nah, I guess I was gonna say I'm gonna Field of Ruin here, but I want to make sure I can play this through Mana Leak, right? And then during their upkeep, I'm gonna field the Steam Vents to get another green source. They probably don't have creature lands in their Blood Moon deck, so I think I just want to turn this into a basic while I can. Draw step's technically correct, you're right. I'm gonna play around Mana Leak by Nanic. Nah, my green mana's gonna kind of be choked. I'm not gonna play around Snapcaster. If they want to snap and opt at my end step here, at their end step, that's fine. I think I'm just gonna go ham with the Scavenging Ooze here. It's like this is my 5/5, so unless they have a main deck roast, this card's probably gonna beat them down very quickly. I don't think I want to play the other Ooze out. Just hold up to counter a Snapcaster Mage trigger. Yep. Having played a deck similar to Delver against decks like these rock decks, in general, I think Delver's a bit of a dog in this matchup. This style of matchup, the type of deck Delver is versus this style of deck. Languish may or may not be okay here. They're probably a young Pyromancer deck, right? Feels like there's a good chance they're a young Pyromancer deck. Tasigur's pretty bad against Remand, so I'm going to cut that. Scooze is a very good Magic the Gathering card. I think the probability that they're in Pyromancer is high, so I'm going to trim at least one Liliana here. I'm going to do this. Oh, Kitchen Finks is pretty good, too. Just gains me health. Let's try this. One Tasigur is probably fine. It is a big butt. And we could probably sequence it through Remand on occasion. Are the Tasigurs just better than Lilies? If they don't have Pyro, this card's fine, though. I'm going to board like this, I think. I think this is fine. Yeah, Blue-Red Pyromancer has a hard time killing things that don't die to Bolt. How often do I tilt? Less often these days. Sphere them, get out of here. This deck is not completely resistant to Blood Moon because it doesn't play red mana, but we're kind of resistant. We've got 6 fetch lands and 6 basics, and Field of Ruin eventually fetches basics, so we're doing okay. I mean, I don't have another Kitchen Finks. This is a Fracturing Gust up here. This is not another Kitchen Finks, in case your screen is tiny. So I agree. If this was a Kitchen Finks, I'd board in the second copy, but that is not a Kitchen Finks. So it's important to remember that the Damping Sphere doubles as Storm and Eggs Hate. I actually have the Fulminator Mages in my sideboard, not as extra Tron Hate, although they serve that purpose. I wanted more cards to bring in against control decks, and Fulminator Mage is a flexible card that's good against Tron and Scapeshift while also being good against control decks. The next big tournament. I am playing the Modern Open in Louisville, Kentucky next month, the end of May. This is one of the 3 decks I'm considering playing at that tournament. Not too late, JMP. You're catching us right at the tail end here. This is my last match of the evening. This hand has 2 fetch lands in it, and it's got an Inquisition and a removal spell. This hand is just very good in general. We'll get to fetch basic Swamp, Inquisition. We'll get to fetch basic Forest. We have a Fatal Push for their first threat. We have a Kitchen Finks Tarmogoyf. Just exactly what this hand wanted. I really like having permanent base disruption against decks like Storms and Eggs, which is why I'm playing 3. All right, take your 1 good card. You can keep the rest. EE can kill Blood Moon in this deck because they'll give us the 3rd color. They'll turn us into a Jund deck. And I'm just going to go ahead and windmill this Tarmogoyf here. Like, God, just... The world is our oyster. I really like this deck. I'm really feeling like this is probably the deck I'm going to end up playing in Louisville. I like this archetype a lot. I really feel like Damping Sphere like helped give it that extra push it kind of needed to like being able to keep up with Tron a little bit better. I like having a good consistent mana base. I'm a huge fan of Tireless Tracker as a Magic card. If they spend 2 bolts to kill this Tarmogoyf, they're going to have a hard time with this Kitchen Finks. Details on how donation decks work are here. Something's gonna get countered at some point, so if you've got it, you got it. Here's my Kitchen Finks. I don't think I'm considering Jund for the open. Jund's a little bit clunky. I don't know. I also just like this deck plays more cards I like. I like having a consistent mana base, and I like not taking damage from my lands. And this deck is very good at both of those things. Hopefully this is just a double bolt on this Goyf here. That would be great for us. The fetch shock there is a little aggressive. I think they're both just like reasonable tier 2 decks in the format. Someone else said there was a sweet green-black deck that did well at the open this weekend, so I definitely want to take a look at that too. This is a great curve. We get to go Kitchen Finks again, play this tapped, and then play Thragtusk next turn. I assume this is just, oh, bolt, snap bolt, sure. Bobs and Kalidas. I'm not, so actually part of the reason why I really like this build is I'm not a huge fan of Dark Confidant. Like, he just takes so much control away from you out of the game, and there's a lot of games where he just dies, whereas Tireless Tracker generally always draws 1 to 2 cards most games. Oh no, not Jace the Mind Sculptor, chat. How will we ever win a game of Magic now? They're sculpting our minds, chat. Their minds are being sculpted. Oh no, oh no. Can you believe Wizards of the Coast has unbanned Jace the Mind Sculptor? They're ruining Modern. Ruining the format I love. We're gonna bolt this and then unsummon. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Jace, the old 4-mana double unsummon, seems decent. This is, to be fair, I'm making fun of Jace because that's what people talk about Jace like how I just talked there. This is actually a board position where Jace is actually pretty good, right? Like, the position we're in right now is one where Jace could end up being very good. So I think I need to take this Abrade. And then I'm going to play this Engineered Explosives for 2. And then I'm going to shock this and play Kitchen Finks. My goal is to try and use the Kitchen Finks to pressure the Jace next turn, ideally. Because this game is very much about this Jace right now. So their last card is Click, but they're going to get to see 4 cards this turn. So they're gonna get to see a lot of stuff. Fate Sealing, that's interesting. So you draw land, removal spell, tilt. This will force them to play the click while I've got nothing. Yeah, I feel like the plus there is kind of wrong. I feel like they're supposed to... Do they bottom the card on top of my deck? No, they topped a swamp. So they're going to trade click for the front half of this, I assume. And they know this is a swamp. I'm not going to play this swamp because we have 4 trackers in our deck. Opponent did leave a card on top of their deck here. So they know they're drawing something that they want to draw. There's the J-Storm. That makes sense because the Kitchen Finks is no longer very threatening. This is definitely a position where, like, having Bloodbraid in our deck would be very good, right? Yep. Good sequence for the opponent. Tracker. Brutality. All right. Let me get to kill their thing at least. They still have this Jace. Tracker is the type of card that could pull us back into this game, so I'm not going to just concede just yet, but... If we draw a couple of bricks and they keep activating this, we're definitely not winning. Take the play for the third game. Maybe Jace being in their deck means I want these Thoughtseizes. Maybe these are pretty reasonable between their counter magic and the Jace. They bottomed a card there. Okay, it's a good sign for us. We just want trackers and Tasigurs, basically. Scavenging Ooze is in bed. A lot of food for him. I'm going to get him out of bolt range here in a second. Amped Phil with the $8 donation. Thank you very much. Beep Jeep, the donate Jeep. Watching you in the owl costume made my month. Please use this for a league of your choice. Thank you, Amped Phil. We'll put that towards one of the dealer's choice decks. So I'm not going to eat too much with this because they can just Jace unsummon it, but I think working towards getting it out of bolt range is probably a good thing. In fact, I'm gonna start eating cards out of their discard pile here that I don't really want them to have. Goat Napper. I have no idea. No, only board in Damping Sphere against combo decks. Don't board in Damping Sphere against Snapcaster Mage decks and stuff like that. How much for a rock costume in Louisville? Asking the real questions. This is a kind of a loose Snapcaster Mage, right? I just eat it again in response. Hey, Gabby. Thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. I do appreciate that. As always, subscriptions are the best way you can show support for what I do here. Thanks for helping me do what I do every single day. So I'm not going to eat another thing here because that's actually a pretty good draw. I guess they figured it was better than a random card for us. I assume they're just going to bounce with this elemental. I don't think Eldrazi Tron's a particularly good deck, but it's like competitive enough that I would play it as a donation deck. I'll leave that stop on their upkeep for now. The one thing I do appreciate is that our opponent is playing pretty fast here. Not a lot of people can keep up with me in speed on Magic Online, and opponent's only down like a minute and a half on clock. Pop this out here so we can eat a few more things here. I'm just gonna go completely ham on their discard pile here. Just take all their counter spells and things Snapcaster Mages might want to do. That's the Spell Snare. I'm gonna take the Remand and the Abrade, and then probably just an Opt for good measure. if they don't have like a negate either, like every time they're not fate sealing us is giving us chances to draw to Maelstrom Pulse as an out to take this Jace off the table. And like the Jace hasn't generated quite an insurmountable amount of card advantage yet, so we could realistically be okay. Oh, wow, the opponent sequenced this really well. So I exposed it to dying to a 3 damage removal spell the way I sequenced there. So I should have just let it go back to my hand there at the end. That was really well played by the opponent. Tracker. I think that's probably the game. Yeah, so the opponent used the resources that they had, and like, you know, if I wouldn't have exposed that to an Abrade, we'd probably be in an okay spot there. No, I don't think I want to trade the Quagmire for a Snapcaster Mage. I think I want Fatal Pushes and stuff like that to be live draws, like Golgari Charm. I've got a lot of things that kill things in my deck. I don't have a lot of threats. So like we've got Golgari Charms, we've got Languishes, so I've got a lot of draws to just like kill my opponent's stuff. One of our 3 sweepers would be gas here. Tireless Tracker would be gas. It's a Fatal Push. Yeah, I'm just going to hold these lands because I have trackers in my deck, 4 of them. Okay, they bottomed. Half of you already. Time flies when you're going. 3-2. ASIM 5KM, thank you very much for the 6-month resubscription. Half a year. Welcome back. I do appreciate it. Vidalcan Shackles. That's going to wrap it up here. I guess I'll take a look at whatever's in their hand and then we'll go to the next game. Yeah, I'm going to board in. I'm going to board the Thoughtseizes back in. I'm going to trim this cast down. It doesn't kill most of their stuff. I think Engineered Explosives may be a little loose. I guess this can kill... No, it can't kill Shackles, right? Yeah, with Jace 2, I'm going to cut this Tasigur. Maybe Liliana is better than I'm giving her credit for. Especially on the play. Alright, let's do this. I have like Languish and stuff to keep a lot of their stuff in check too. Liliana's with a card that like eventually kills a Jace. So this is going to be my last game of the evening. Thank you everyone for hanging out. I do appreciate it. I will be live again tomorrow afternoon. I do a stream from 3 p.m. Central Standard Time till about 9 or 10 o'clock, about this time on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays right now. Love to play first. Discard spell into Tarmogoyf into Liliana the Veil. Sign me up. Details on the Discord are here, Gabby. You just subscribed, so you'll probably have to wait about an hour for it to sync. It syncs automatically once per hour. That's interesting. Alright, so... definitely Shackles here, right? Just take the card that beats us. It's unfortunate that Flame Slash will be able to kill Tarmogoyf here. So... I have a lot of ways to kill their threat, so I think I just want to protect my creatures at this point. I think I'm going to take this Bolt, and then I'm going to fetch Shock and push this Grimlavamancer, so that they can't exile things from their graveyard. I think Fracturing Gust is good. I haven't actually tested it. Another thing that's important to remember is that Fracturing Gust is a flexible card. So, like, Fracturing Gust is a card that gets to come in against Affinity and decks like Lantern and stuff like that too. All right, well, I am definitely just edicting them off this Delver. They drew Spell Pierce here. I'm gonna vomit a little bit, but I think I just want to like kill their stuff while the killing is good. Yeah, Shackles stopped being good when, what's it called, got printed. Culligan's command made Shackles much, much worse. Am I trading Languish for Flame Slash here? I might if they don't play a Pyromancer. Explosives. That's good. Huh. Well, I'm just gonna pass here, right? Because I can use this to regenerate my Golgari Charm. Or use this to regenerate my Tarmogoyf. Untapped land. Scavenging Ooze. Alright, Edict you. I'm just gonna jam this, hoping they'll blow this up. Man, I'm hoping this Golgari Charm gets him. Go. It's not why we boarded it in, but it's why we're using it here. Your move, Yugi boy. Yeah, Golgari Charm's a great card. All right, sweet. We need a Parafor once tonight, maybe. Not quite done yet, but looking pretty good here. Oh, you're right. I could have done that. Yeah, not dying to Spell Pierce is good too. There's no reason not to play around it. So we 4-1'd with this, and the match that we lost, we went to 3 and I punted game 2. Went to game 3 and I punted game 2. I'm gonna have to think about changes I might want to make to this, but I do think, and this is just a small switch here, I think this is probably right overall. Maybe it's right to hedge and leave an Engineer Explosives main. This looks cleaner though, right? Just like starting all 4 trackers main and leaving the 2 EEs on the board. I like this list a lot though. I think it's sweet. I think green-black mid-range in general is a pretty good deck. I don't quite know if the Tassigurs are good. They're probably fine. They've been okay. Like, having extra beaters is pretty good. They helped us beat Burn. At any rate, thank you everyone for watching. If you didn't catch the whole league, we played almost 2 hours. I'm going to send it up to the YouTubes now, and I'll catch all of y'all tomorrow. Thanks everyone for watching through the end, and everybody have a good night. Or good morning if you're on the other side of the world.